En este video vamos a escuchar una entrevista al fallecido cantante del grupo Queen, Freddie Mercury, una entrevista realizada en los 80s. Hay que tener en cuenta que Freddie Mercury pasó su juventud en Inglaterra. Antes de escuchar el audio vamos a ver algunas frases y palabras que pueden ser incomprensibles para algunos. 4 viejas damas que aún rockean sin parar. 4 old ladies still rocking away. Eso fue lo suficientemente interesante para que nosotros continuemos. That was interesting enough for us to carry on. Y los otros se quedan a un lado, and the others get left out. ¿Al ritmo de qué música te sacarías la ropa? To what music you would strip? No tenía el tiempo para separarme. I didn't have the time to break away. Realmente me estaba aburriendo y los otros también. I was getting really bored and so were the others. Lo espero con tantas ganas. I'm looking forward to it. Necesitas un tiempo de descanso. You need time away. No me veo tan mal para 37. I don't look too bad for 37. Whereas, mientras que, a bunch of, un montón de, earlier on, más antes, to get fed up, estar harto, sort of, más o menos, algo, coward, cobarde, as long as, siempre y cuando, I mean, quiero decir. Ahora escuchemos la entrevista.
To people outside, it sometimes feels funny that, or special, that there are so many solo projects, whereas the band is still going as well on the side. How would you analyze the influence of the solo stuff for the band when you come back together again? Is that an advantage that you're 4 strong writers who also do stuff on your own, or does it?
Yes, I think in a funny way, I thought, because I think this is one of the few groups that all 4 members write, and I thought that we'd be doing solo albums much before this. But I think in a funny way, when we do a Queen album, they're like 4 solo projects within themselves anyway, because I mean, I have my bunch of songs, Brian has his, Roger and John, and so it's like 4 little solo projects working side by side, and then we put them all together. So I think that was the reason that we didn't actually go and do solo projects earlier on. I mean, if we were writing all the same kind of songs, then we would have gotten fed up and said, "Oh, I want to do my solo album first." But we're all writing different songs, so it keeps us interested. So for about 13 years or whatever, that was interesting enough for us to carry on. And as far as I was concerned, all Queen albums were little solo projects anyway. I was writing my kind of songs that I wanted. But now I think the time has come where I want a whole album of my own, and Roger's done 2 already, so I think most people thought that I would be the first one to have a solo album, and then the band, Queen would break up and all that, but here you are, after 13 years, 4 old ladies are still rocking away. No, but the funny thing is, this sort of happened almost when we met, the 4 of us, and it's just, you won't believe it. I mean, people think that, okay, now they're fighting. We fought on virtually the first day, because we used to know each other from university and all that, and we used to fight about musical ideas and this and that, because we're all very strong characters, we all have egos and all that, so we always kept fighting. But I think the fighting seems to keep us together, because I think sometimes, I think bands break up when there's one very strong person and the others get left out, and they think, oh God, this asshole's just too strong and we want to join another band. But the 4 of us are real we're very strong individually, so we just keep going at each other. And I think the reason we've stayed together for so long is just none of us want to leave, because, I mean, if you leave, it's like being a coward and you're going out. So we still keep going, and as long as the music is still there, and as long as the people are still buying the music, then it's okay. When they stop buying our records, then I'll say goodbye and do something else, become a strip artist or something.
Yeah. To what music you would strip? What music would you use?
All the songs I've written. Oh, come on. There was a time where we were doing tours so extensively, because I mean we would go into a studio, make an album, and then tour the world, and then we'd go back, and that was the routine. I mean, I didn't have any time to actually break away, and we virtually did that for about 8 or 9 years, and that's why the last couple of years we wanted to break away from that format, because I was getting very bored, and so were the others, and just to get away and do different things and think about certain things. And so this tour I'm looking forward to, because we haven't toured, and we can do different things. It's going to be it's going to be fresh, you know. And otherwise there were tours I hated, because I mean we used to do American tours that lasted for 3 or 4 months, and towards the end it was just terrible. I just never wanted to go on a stage again, because after a while the songs sounded very, you know, if you're doing it for 3 months, you have to do the same routine, and you know, you need time away so you can get freshness into it. And I think that probably happens to everybody.
What's the fresh element now in the new tour that
It's me, my costume. No, it's just it's new. I mean, the one element that I like on this tour is that we are actually going to go all the way back and do songs from all the old albums as well, because so that I think anybody coming to see Queen this time is going to get a little piece of all the albums. So I mean, there are times where somebody comes to a show and say, oh, they didn't do anything from this album or whatever. Of course we can't do all the songs from 13 albums. We'll be there for 2 days. But I think what we're doing is we're going to take, even if it's one song from one album or 2 from each, we're not going to leave any album out. So I think that to me is fun, because we've been practicing some of the early stuff. I mean, we were practicing Keep Yourself Alive and Liars from the first album. And it made me think, you know, that about 13 years ago we were doing this, and at that time I had long hair and black fingernails and makeup and everything, the kind of thing that Boy George is doing right now. And to think that I'd sort of still be singing those songs, it sort of makes me sound old, doesn't it?
Well,
I don't look too bad for 37, I'll tell you.